Now, the News Channel 20 Sports Desk.
Sports on Friday, that brings us high school basketball. We're focusing on the boys' side of hoops tonight. A few big games locally at Williamsville, Rochester, and Lanphier. We'll be in attendance for all of those, bringing you highlights later on tonight. But we kick things off here at 6 with Illinois women's basketball coming off their 5th straight victory, their 7th win in their last 8 games. As Illinois, they now sit 5th in the Big Ten standings. The top 4 they all look up at are all in the top 25, and as exciting as a spot in the standings they may have and may be in right now, head coach Shauna Green says they can't get ahead of themselves.
Just one day at a time. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. You can't. Every game we have is just it's really hard. You know, right now I'm already worried about Wisconsin. They're really good, and they're really good at home. So.
Now taking a look at the standings, Illinois a great spot with just 6 games in conference in their regular season remaining. Their schedule will feature a tough road trip out west to take on both number 1 UCLA and number 7 USC, that in 2 weeks. But Illinois currently in solid standing as they near the Big Ten tournament. They're back in action on Sunday when they take that trip to Madison to take on the Badgers. And of course, Friday night brings boys basketball here in Illinois. I'll start my night leaving right here from the studio, heading over to Williamsville as the Bullets, they welcome Pleasant Plains, both undefeated in conference play. Rochester also in action tonight. My other stop after Williamsville as the Rockets, they take on MacArthur. And finally, over at Lanphier, the Lions, they're playing some real good basketball of late, and they'll look to stay hot tonight as they welcome U High, their visitor, tonight. High school hoops, another bit of our conversation with Springfield native and Chiefs assistant Brendan Daly on deck for sports tonight. But for now, here at 6, that does it for sports. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Now, the News Channel 20 Sports Desk.
And we had another exciting night of high school hoops here in Central Illinois. The CSA and Sangamo Conference pictures becoming ever clearer as we near the end of the regular season. We have 3 games for you tonight, with the first one coming from over at Williamsville. Pleasant Plains on the road to face Williamsville. Both of these teams entering Friday perfect in conference play. Both sides bringing great crowds tonight as well. But the Bullets, they would set the tone in the first quarter. Braden Sailing, nice bounce pass. He finds Reed Bodine, the gentle touch for 2. Carson Doran now all the way across the arc. Garrett Tim, corner 3. That's good. But the Cardinals, they would fight to keep pace. Cooper Schallenberg down low. Grady Grisham, nice find, nice finish. Then Cooper, one of the 5 triples he'd have. Money from the Berg, Schallenberg. But Braden Sailing and the Bullets feed to the corner. Sailing fires from 3. Sailing, he'd have 15 as the Bullets, they remain undefeated in conference play, handing Plains their first Sangamo Conference loss. Final 46-41. Then a trip down to Rochester, the Rockets, an important home game against MacArthur, who stand atop the conference. Sean Lee, always a factor, gets downhill, contact, and it goes, and 1 for Lee. Tylen Cook, he would help add to the general lead. Down low, finds Kendall Howell straight up for the bucket. Corbin Gregory now for Rochester gets the feed, sees the seam, and attacks all the way to the basket. A little spin on that finish as well. Kai Bruce, he plays a part here in the third. Catch beyond the line, buries the J. But the Generals, they roll to a 30-point victory and in the process clinch at least a piece of the Central State 8 title. Final 57-27. And our final stop of the night, Lanphier and U High Lions. One of the teams hanging around the CSA Conference conversation. Let's start with Soriano Hayes, the junior, aggressive right at the Pioneer D, gets the 2 to go at the cup. Jaquan Holman's turn this time in some tight traffic in the lane, but somehow gets the hands loose, shot off, and the ball drops. Other way for U High, uphill battle in this one for them, but they work to Cameron Johnson, who gets the 2 off the glass there. They'll go back to him, this time the feed coming from Kruger, but Lanphier, they get another important win to keep up pace at the top of the conference. They win big, final 59-21. And now as Sunday approaches, we'll continue to spotlight Brendan Daly, a 6-time Super Bowl champion and a Springfield native. He started his coaching career after attending Drake University, and you look at his resume and you think it must have always been smooth sailing. His first job coaching in Florida, however, not exactly a walk in the park.
That's kind of, turned my thought process a little bit towards maybe the college game is something I want to explore. And I originally got done with Drake and I went down to a high school down in Florida. I taught and coached there. I was teaching special education and coaching football, and we went 0-10. A lot of good high school football down in the state of Florida, not at Ridgewood High School at that time.
Now tomorrow in sports, we'll have our eye on Illini men who are in action on the road taking on Minnesota, and here locally we'll be back up at Williamsville as they host a day full of basketball with the Sangamo versus IPC shootout and a little more with Coach Daly as well. But that does it for sports tonight. I'm Sammy St. Jean.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to watch more videos from News Channel 20.